What up, bro? The What's going on, Jojo?
Most definitely.
Turkey and the Saudis um, tried to do the same thing in golf with the Live tournament or the Live or however they pronounce it, the LIV um, golfing tournament. And the PGA said, "Hey, you go over there and make your money. If that's what you want to do, but you lose your PGA card when you do that." So you see, people are going over there making their money. They're doing the thing, but they're not participating in PGA events. And I think that's going to be the same thing with boxing. They're going to operate a separate league outside of the U.S. So therefore, it part won't be covered under the Ali Act. And Dana White will be in charge, and Turkey and the Saudis will be supplying the money. But I think that'll be something that will be done outside of the U.S. so that it's not affected by the Ali, so that they are not affected by the Ali Act. You know,
I
and
can see
BBO,
that happening,
Yeah,
Dre.
yeah,
I can
Big
see that
Dre.
happening.
ain't it a
Yeah,
little
Big
early to
Dre.
be coming up in here capping in this morning?
Mhm. Yeah, Big Dre. No, I
Oh,
agree.
hold
You
on,
make a
Mark. You
lot
hear
of
me
good.
talking?
No, I couldn't hear you talking. Go ahead, my bad.
Hey, man. What I'm saying
I
is
can hear you,
simple.
BBO.
I get what Big Dre's saying, but the thing that a guy like Big Dre don't understand, he's the globalist. So he doesn't care if our sport dies. I
No, no,
care
no, no,
about our
no, no, no.
sport.
Wait a minute.
And I hold on. I'll let you talk, brother. I'll let you talk. Don't do that to me because I'm black. I'll let you talk.
That's
All I'm
No,
crazy.
saying is this.
see, there you go with
Yeah.
that
All I'm
racism.
saying is this. That, hey, I'm black. I've been dealing with it for 400 years, man. Blacks hate you more than anybody. You
He
know
ain't
that.
been there
I know
for
that.
Not even 40 years
So
old.
all I say it again.
Yeah, I got shoes older than you, man.
Yeah, you're not even
Yeah, you
40
know.
years old. Talking about four
You ain't
dealing with
got no
something for
35-year-old
400 years.
shoes, man. Stop. Stop. You ain't got no 35-year-old shoes, man. Stop.
I have two pair I got a pair of wingtips and a pair of
35-year-old
Stacy
shoes is
Adams
wild.
that are
That's
both 40
wild.
years old, sir.
That's right.
Well, you know what? I'll say this, man. I think it's funny how Turkey's so celebrated. And it just reminds you of how it don't matter what we do as brothers, it's always people that want to cut us down. And Turkey's a great example. His fights look rigged, but they don't say nothing. I guarantee you, if Al Heyman had this same type of people looking the same way they're looking versus his guys, you'd be saying something totally different. I
Hey,
guarantee it.
BBO, let me ask you a question then. If his fights was rigged, don't you think he would have
Mhm.
had Ryan Garcia win that fight?
No,
Yeah, he would have. Now we're gonna keep it real.
no,
We're
he
gonna keep
wouldn't
it
have.
real. BBO, they wanted Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney. It made
He
more
put
sense.
too
Ryan
much money into
sucks.
Ryan.
You know,
It don't matter,
hold on,
BBO.
hold on.
Yeah.
It don't matter. I want you
Ryan
to tell the
sucks.
truth.
I
Don't
ain't
tell
big
yeah,
trash.
yeah, BBO. I don't care about him sucking. I'm saying I want you to
You
tell the
said he
truth.
wasn't good, CDK. You the
Are
first
you
one to
gonna
say
Whoa.
he wasn't good.
are you
Whoa.
gonna
That
listen
was
or are you gonna
crazy,
do all that
CDK.
off the
That was
wall?
Hold on.
crazy.
Talk at one time. One
Yeah,
time.
are you gonna answer the question or are you gonna do the off the wall stuff? I'm saying I still believe he sucked. I'm not a Ryan Garcia fan. I said it would have made more sense for Ryan Garcia to win that fight because it would have brought in more money for Turkey for Devin and Ryan to fight than Devin in a Rolly fight. I'm just being real. It don't have nothing to do with being a fan of Turkey or Devin ain't a fan of Ryan Garcia. I just said if we're gonna talk boxing and we're gonna keep it real, let's keep it real. Let's
We
call it
keep
like it is.
what I'm saying is I'm not saying every single fight was fixed.
Which
I'm
one?
saying the one with William Skull versus Canelo, where William Skull made it clear. This I watched the interview in Spanish. He basically was saying how Turkey directed him to not throw a lot of punches, and you can look it up. It's on the Ring Magazine YouTube page. He talked about how he was told not to throw a lot of punches, and he was told to not mess up the event.
I
And
would
and
like to see
I don't think William Skull's gonna lie. I mean, what is he gonna lie about?
we don't
I
know.
mean, he made
First of all, I don't know William Skull personally to say whether he'll allow or not. I'll say that. But I would like to hear from Turkey. I would like to hear him too. And that I don't know
Mhm.
whether he'll allow or not. What I'm saying is we don't if I'm not there, I don't know the truth. And I don't know whether William Skull telling the truth or not. I know what he did do. He looked like he was a track star to me. If you ask me, you know what I'm saying? You want the truth? He looked like a track star.
he did. He did. And what I'm saying
Hey,
in no
quick,
uncertain terms. Hold on 1 second, Mark. Hold on 1 second. In no uncertain terms, I want to make it clear CDK was the first one to tell us Ryan was trash. Is
Yeah,
that not the case, CDK?
yeah,
You
that's
the
right.
first. Hey, hold on.
nah, he wasn't the
CDK
first one.
was on.
No, you
No,
wasn't, Bubba
no,
Dan. No, you wasn't.
no, you wasn't.
I've
No, you
been
wasn't.
saying Ryan was a bum.
Bubba Dan,
No, you did not.
Ben
No, you
said it
didn't. You
way
thought
before
you
then.
thought you thought he was De La Hoya like I did. So stop
Are
playing
you
games.
kidding me? I was going to
You thought he was.
war with you during the Devin Haney build-up. Are you
Yeah, but
crazy?
I called it way before then, though. I called it
I'm
way.
not talking about that. I'm talking about back when he
Well,
fought
fine,
Tank.
fine, CDK,
Back
but
when he
I think
fought
I
Tank.
called Ryan a bum way before that, disrespectfully.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Before he fought Luke Campbell, before any of those fights, I said he wasn't no good.
Yeah. Like
He's a
right
drug
around
cheating
he took
bum.
that mental but right around you took that break because he was mentally something was going on with his mental. CDK came out and said he's a
Man, he was
bum.
getting high. We just gotta call it like it is. He was getting high.
That's crazy.
You know, but
But
I understand. Hold on 1 second. Hold 1 second. Cornbread. 1 second. 1 second.
God damn, man, you've been talking for a long
That's what we
time.
gonna do. We BBO boxing. So I mean we can talk. We can talk.
Yeah,
But I'll put
you
like
could be
this, man.
long-winded. Go
That
ahead.
boy's on
I'll
one
put like
today.
this. I'll put like this. We seen Cornbread in the movie Sinners, and that's Marky Dan. He's a cornbread type of nigga who don't know when to be quiet, and that's okay. But I'll say
That was
this:
racist.
the thing that we missing is very important to what Big Drake said. Is that we got a sport where it's two rules for different people. There's rules for all that they don't have for Turkey, and I don't understand it. I don't know why they're doing that, and I think what's going on is proving the point that they just hate Al Heyman. That's what it proves. They just hate Al Heyman. That's all it is. They hate Al, and they don't want to admit it. That's what it is.
Oh, I agree with that. I agree with that 100%.
But
I think
but
they hate that.
I'll let Marky go. I know Mark got a couple questions. He's fresh off the field. Go ahead, Mark.
No, I just want to respond to a couple things Big Dre said. Because I agree with him that I do think that killing the Ali Act would take some pushback, but it would have to come from the boxers, respectfully. I've been saying it for a long time. Boxers need to unionize if they want advocacy and they want their rights to be protected and enforced. And respectfully, I just don't think the Ali Act is necessarily a perfect document, even though it does provide a lot of protections for the boxers. But if your protection is about to be killed, that's the moment when y'all gotta galvanize each other and unionize, and then go to your representatives and have them represent your interests when they are talking about killing the act, or not even. I don't even think they would kill the act because that just wouldn't sound good. You killing the Ali Act. I think they would revise certain parts of it, specifically that first line about professional boxing not being allowed to be a league. So
It
yeah,
shouldn't be. It
I
shouldn't
just
be.
think
It shouldn't be.
what you say?
It shouldn't be a league. I agree with Ali.
I think it should.
Why should it be?
I think it should.
I get in the ring by myself. I put my line on the
I
light by
think it's
myself, and I don't need nobody else. You know what I'm saying?
well that's the perspective of the fighter. I'm speaking from the perspective of the fan.
Yeah,
I
no,
like
that's
I
not
love
the right.
the UFC.
And guess what? That's
I
not
love.
the right. The perspective you're speaking from is not a good one. I'm talking
I'm
about the people that
advocating
actually
for
put the light.
my. I'm advocating for. Hold on. No. I'm advocating for my interest as a fan. I want to see the best fights on a regular
Let
basis.
me ask you a question.
Dana White does that. Okay.
This is a sick Negro.
I also got people that can't pay their rent. Dana White got people that I make more money than. That's what Dana White got. You understand what I'm saying? We keeping it real. Let's keep it real.
But you know what
Who
it
are
is,
those?
CDK?
No. Who are those people? Do you know any of them?
Mark.
Can
Yeah, I
you
know a
name
bunch
any
of
of those
this.
people?
I know a bunch of
Go
them.
ahead.
I'm gonna say this because one thing we know about Marky Dan, he don't care about boxing. This is a guy. This is a guy who's showing you what happens when people have that house inward mentality where they do what they told and
Hey,
not
bro,
do.
don't disrespect me. Fuck you.
Hold on.
Oh.
That's
Nah, don't
okay.
disrespect me.
Hold on, that's okay. That's okay. Because you know what I say to you to that is that only idiots get mad about the truth. A hit dog a holler. You see what happens? I say the truth.
And
He
you a
gets
racist.
hot. I can't be
A fat
racist.
one at that.
I can't be racist. And the way you built and the way your teeth is, you like you going through some
Don't
things.
talk about the way
So I'm
nobody's
not.
built. You fat nigga.
Hold on.
Wow.
We're gonna throw this field boy back to the back for a second. Sorry about that. I want to apologize.
Okay.
Marky Dan, who looks like Wayne Head from the old show, the old Wayne's Brothers show, is talking too crazy. We throw him back in the back, let him get it off. Cause I know that's how these field/house brothers get, man. They get upset when you speak the truth. But all jokes aside, let me ask you guys this. Do you guys think what Turkey's doing is something that's sustainable?
I don't.
Um, uh, you talking about the way he's paying fighters or what?
Just his whole structure, the way you paying them, how how we seeing these fights way in Dubai, they're not making money. I mean, the
Uh,
fight of the what's that stomp that Times Square card? People told me that was actually in the area said you couldn't see the card, you couldn't see the fighters at all.
no,
It's
they
like,
could. They said they brought him in cars. At the, I think Rolly said him and Tio kind of shared a room, and but they went there at the same time. But the way he done it, 250 people there involved in a special guest. That right there is what I hate about boxing. When I say that, like you have a big fight, right? There are a lot of people that's real fight fans that can't go to a real big fight because then you got all the celebrities. People don't even like boxing. They jack the tickets up, and these are the people that you put on the front row. There's not a real boxing fan there, and it takes away from the sport. That's what I don't like. Now I have a problem with that right there. I don't like that. I think that real boxing fans should be able to attend these events, man. We the one that really, really follow the sport of boxing and get behind the sport. And I hate that.
Yeah.
It's also the fact that when you have uh, we as boxing fans need to support boxing from the beginning all the way up to the top level
Yeah,
because we don't go to local fights. I mean, I do.
I do. I do
I
too,
do.
Big
I
Dre.
was just at
I
one
do.
last weekend.
I do, Big Dre.
Yeah, I went to
Yeah, I step
a
out.
local event 3 weeks in a row. Well, my wife wasn't pleased with that, but hey, I did it. But you know, you go out there and support the local fighters and the regional fighters, the guys who are coming up,
Yep.
and that's the way to grow the sport because we need to go to these local events so that the local promoter can make a dollar or two, and the local fighters can make a dollar or two. I mean, um, there was a news story during the the Devin Haney, um, who was he fighting in San Francisco? The when when Devin fought in San Francisco, that
Uh,
card, um, the the
it wasn't what's the name? Was it dang, what's it? We were talking about him the other day, BVO. We were talking about him, D
oh,
what's
a
his
man
name?
from Texas.
JoJo. It wasn't JoJo, was it?
No, 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 no. The guy who fought at 140.
Podcast.
Marky Dan, help me out here, man. Who did he fight at 140?
Marky Dan he's still in timeout.
Oh,
Hold on.
BVO. He talked. He run his mouth. I can't hear him. But at any
I'm
rate,
trying to think too who he fought. I'm
um,
looking at I'm trying to remember who it was he fought, and I'm looking it up.
it was the right fight right before Ryan. The guy
Okay,
he
he fought Regis Program.
Regis Prograde. Yeah. So the first televised fight. Okay, so you had the pre-flight, the pre-card, the early stuff. Um, but the first fight on the official card, the guy got paid $800.
Yeah, come on, man.
That's crazy.
He got paid
Teofimo
eight hundred
Lopez.
dollars. You know, I was on Behind the Hands channel about a month ago. And he had a guy on. Actually, it's probably 2 months ago now. He had a guy on talking about the business of boxing. He is a boxer and how you got to go out there and you have to raise money to pay your opponents. This doesn't pay you. This pays your opponent. You know.
Yep, yep.
So we need to support the local fighters. We need to be out there going to the fights. We need to encourage our friends to go to the local fights.
I agree.
You know, um, so we can make these events profitable for the fighters. because everybody's not going to make that upper echelon and become elite. Um, Now, when it comes to Ryan Garcia, um, Ryan messed up the bag.
Yeah, he did.
Turkey messed up the bag. Somebody messed
Hmm.
up the bag
Somebody messed the bag up.
because the
Yeah.
bag is definitely messed up. Because
He didn't have
after,
no dope in his system, Dre.
I agree, Mark.
come on, man.
Yeah, I agree with that
I'm
too.
I'm I'm not going to put a label on my man Ryan for being a doper because the level of ostarine in his system could have come from anywhere.
But
That
hey,
he
Big Dre, let me ask you a question.
wait a minute, wait a minute now. Wait, hold, let me finish. He has fought several fights being tested, okay, throughout his career. And this is the first time he's come up with a banned substance. Okay. So I'm not gonna put and the banned substance he took a test 2 weeks before. He took a drug test 2 weeks before and passed it. Okay. He took a drug test 2 weeks before that and passed it. Now he fails a test for um, a banned substance, not a performance enhancer, but a banned substance. Okay, there's a difference because Benadryl is a banned substance.
Hey, let me ask you this right here, Big
Well,
Dre.
what I
Yeah, hold on 1 second, Mark. Dang, I'm gonna throw this out here. Ryan Garcia cheated, and I'm gonna be the one to say it, and I'm gonna say this right here. If you know anything about passing tests, it's not hard to pass tests, but there will come a time when you're cheating that you will get caught. You know what I'm saying? It will come a time when you're cheating, and you can have a small dosage in your system. I think what people keep failing to realize, the reason you have a small dosage in your system is because you're cycling off of what you're using. See, that
hmm
don't matter about the dosage. There's a reason why a small
hmm
dosage gets you suspended from boxing. It's because
Okay,
they have enough sense to know
point
you
one.
can cycle off of what you're taking. And I believe he got caught in between cycling
Hmm.
off what he was taking.
Cycling CDK,
Yeah,
and it also says Osterin.
No, it's a pretty.
Hold on, Marcus. It also says
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead, Brian.
increases muscle lean,
yep,
preserves muscle mass,
yep.
and stuff like that. So it's also a fat loss. It's also used for weight
weight
loss,
loss.
cutting weight or whatever. So
What did he have trouble doing?
Not
well, yeah,
not
making
o-
weight. So he's
not only
using it.
that, to add
Hold
to
on,
y'all
Marky.
points.
Hold on, Mark. Hold on, Mark. Damn. He also like CDK just said that the reason why is probably with like low amounts in there because he was probably at the end of his cycle, cycling it out. That's why. But I mean, it clearly says it's muscle growth and preservation, and it increases lean muscle. Man, I'm reading it because I'm
Yeah,
not a chemist or so I'm just reading what it does, and that sounds
Well,
like cheating to me.
it is.
okay. Well, I'm gonna put this out there, and you can take it any way you want because one of my favorite professional athletes um, was caught cheating. No, let me rephrase that. He was not caught cheating because he was never caught. Okay, and the person that we all hate and love to hate, Victor Conti, was in charge of his drug program. His name is Lance Armstrong.
Oh
He
yeah,
won the
man.
Tour de France 7 times while being uh, while doing whatever drugs he was doing. Um, he was at one time considered to be the most tested athlete in sports.
He's smart.
So there is, but like I said, he hadn't. I can't. I'm not gonna put that jacket on him,
Yeah,
um, but I'm not gonna say he wasn't.
I
I'm just not
respect
gonna
that,
put the
Dre. I
jacket on
respect
him.
that,
I'm,
Big Dre.
I'm not gonna call him a cheat.
I respect that.
Okay.
I just
okay.
feel like I feel
Very.
like myself personally. I respect what you're saying. I
I
just
also look at baseball. Another one of Victor Conti's clients. His name is Sammy Sosa.
that was his baby.
Okay,
Barry Bonds.
Barry Bonds, Sammy Sosa, never got caught.
Yeah,
Never got caught.
I know what you're saying.
Tested, 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 and beyond tested. Now Mark McGuire got caught with something in his system.
Did Mark McGuire ever get caught for it? Did he get caught?
He okay. He had a test that was not negative.
Okay, yeah. 'Cause I ain't think they ever said he was positive. Like, so what you're saying, I don't think. But let me ask y'all the question right
He
here.
tested
My
other than
favorite fighter.
negative was what they said. It wasn't. They didn't call it a positive test. They called it
Well,
a test that was
Inconclusive.
But before you
No,
Inconclusive.
they
ask your
said
question, let
it
me
was
just make
other
my
than
quick.
negative.
Let me just make my quick point, CDK. I just wanted to say, ostarine, from the research I've been doing on it, it's also known to be a masking substance. That's why
Hmm.
they say you're not
Yeah,
even supposed to have point 0.1 in your system. This man had point 0.6.
yeah.
So I mean, them's the rules. The man cheated. Like, just straight up, he cheated.
Hey,
Again,
Big Dre, let me ask you this question,
it's
all of
not
y'all.
listed as a performance enhancer. It's listed as a banned substance. So
Yeah, yeah. But
that's
I'm saying,
that
but
that was
what?
that's
But if you
that's what the
read on
phrase
it
that meant.
though, if you read on it, it does enhance certain things. It helps you with weight loss, things that you would have to
Muscle
do,
mass.
like in boxing, right? Losing weight is them last 3 pounds can be hectic or hell
Yeah, we've
to
had
do.
boxers die
So
from
what
trying
you
to
get out
cut
of that is
weight.
this, right? So you already know, Big Dre, it's hard to lose that sometimes those last 3 pounds.
Ask
So
somebody who's 400
I
pounds.
believe, yeah, yeah, I believe he was taking it, and this is my personal opinion. I could be wrong. I believe he got caught in between cycling and had a low cycle. He was trying to dose off of it. I believe he got caught up. Uh,
Mhm.
we heard Victor Conte. We know Victor Conte told on a lot of people that didn't get caught. But do you believe those people cheated? The ones that Victor Conte told on, do you believe they cheated?
Of course.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. Victor Conte told on a lot of people, and I believe they cheated as well. Just to be honest with you, I believe they cheated. But I was talking about, man. I was going to ask you about my favorite fighter. It's been a lot of talk about him for years, and I don't know whether it's true or not. I don't want to believe it, but hey, Manny Pacquiao. Do y'all believe that he cheated?
Manny Pacquiao.
Yeah, yeah.
Manny
Okay.
Pacquiao uh, presents some of the same attributes as Sammy Sosa,
Yeah.
Hmm.
Barry Bonds,
Yeah.
and a couple of other baseball players
Right.
because the size of his head grew after he was an adult. After
Yeah.
25 years old, his head got bigger. Um, he had to get a new hat size. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah. Nah,
I
the way
can't
how this
prove.
man, he was
I
going up
can't
there and he
prove it.
was just, bruh, he was
He went
mashing
on
up
a
people up
crazy
there.
knockout streak, Marky, and
Jesus
then it
Christ.
just stopped. It just
Yeah.
stopped.
No,
Yeah.
and it stopped after and this is why I give Freddie Roach a lot of credit, because I think he's a real person of integrity. I can't
Yeah.
remember the name of Manny's nutritionist, but it was during the time with the steroid scandal, and he went directly to him and said, "What are you putting in Manny's drinks?" And he
Oh yeah.
refused to answer, and he fired him on the spot.
I
Hmm.
remember
So
that.
Yes,
I
he
don't
did.
know what might have been going on between Manny and that nutritionist, because I remember that was a big story that broke at the time, but I know Freddie Roach didn't have nothing to do with it. That's
Hey,
my
when it
opinion.
was it Alex Ariza?
Yes, yeah, Alex Ariza. Freddie fired
I
him on the
was thinking
spot when he
about it.
refused to answer him.
Yeah, it was Alex
Hey,
Ariza. It
listen.
was him.
When it comes to people of integrity, there are a few people that I trust more in the sport of boxing than Freddie Roach. Freddie Roach is
I
he's
agree.
you know um, him and Emmanuel Stewart, um, a couple of the
They don't
cornerstones
play
of
that
boxing,
stuff.
Yeah, they don't play
they don't play that.
Because
Yeah.
you see what it did to Freddie. You see what it did to Freddie.
Yes,
man.
Yeah, it's a dirty game, man. Boxing is dirty, man. I wish they would get on top of that. And they need to see, you would laugh at Devin Haney for making for or Bill or the Haneys for doing a lawsuit, but it has to start somewhere. We have to make these fighters so afraid to pop dirty that they're gonna make sure they on top of the game. If not, you're gonna have look at that dirty rat, Alexander Povetkin.
Yeah,
They,
yeah,
I mean,
he.
they took half his career fights away because he was just a despicable person.
They
You
should have.
know,
They should have
you
took
need to
all
go
of
to
them.
Yeah, he
jail.
should have been. Yeah, that's what I was about to say, Prize. They should
Yeah,
have
you
locked
need to
him
go to
up.
jail. So, like I said, with this steroid, or let's say PEDs, and all the and banned substance, all that stuff, they need to be hit with heavy fines, crazy suspensions to make fighters be like, watch everything they drink. Because some fighters are just take stuff, supplements, and not even knowing what they putting in their body. They
Because
just
you're
going off of
playing,
what a nutritionist is
yeah,
saying. You feel me?
you're playing with somebody's life, man. That's
Right.
what you're doing.
Right. That's what I'm saying. So I would
well,
like
I
to
think
see I would like to see people get in serious trouble when they pop once. Pop twice, you get another serious charge. The third offense, you're out.
Yeah. I ain't even with the third
I
offense,
think
Brian. I ain't gonna tell no lie.
your nutritionist or your weight cut person
Hmm.
should be fined along with you.
Yes, indeed. Yes,
Okay,
indeed.
because blaming the fighter, the nutritionist, or the weight cut person, or You know, these specialists that come in at the last minute to help you um, finish off your training. Um, those are the people that are doing the most damage.
Yes,
Those are the ones that are, because you get somebody who's a clean fighter, who's normally a clean fighter, um, and then all of a sudden um, you having trouble cutting weight for this particular fight, and you got to get those last 6 pounds off, and you
yeah,
Hmm.
call your buddy up who says, "Oh man, don't worry, I got a guy who'll come over and help you out." And you know, some of his methods is a little different from what you're used to, but we help you
you
get
there,
this
big
weight
guy?
off.
Okay.
You know,
Hmm. Yep.
and you know,
I think
sometimes they
that
got a
Victor
spoonful
Conti
of
should have
stuff in
been
there.
allowed in boxing.
Say again. Say that again.
You know what's going on.
I thought he said Victor Conti shouldn't be allowed in boxing. If that's what he said, I agree with you
Okay.
100%. I think Victor Conti shouldn't be allowed in sport. Period. You know, you can have your company, and you can do whatever you want
Yeah.
with your company and your products. Okay, um, but as far as sponsoring athletes um, and providing specific nutritional things to athletes, that should be a one-on-one thing that they need to leave there. They need to go directly to Victor, and not have you as a consultant in their camp. I mean, because the things that he has done or has been accused of and convicted of um, make him ineligible totally. So
Yeah, nah, I agree with you.
I agree.
I just want to see him clean up the sport. I want to see the best fight the
Bad
best. I'm
look for
just,
boxing even bringing him in.
yeah. I mean, Victor Conti. I mean, that's just a black eye. I mean, people live by morals like once a cheater, always a cheater. Once a liar, always a liar. Once a thief, always a type. You see what I'm saying? I'm not saying that he doing anything bad, but right now, because you can, somebody can change and turn their act around. But I just thought it was a black eye for letting him in because it's like this. It's like you said. One of y'all brothers said if boxing was a league or something, he wouldn't be allowed. You think they would let him in the NBA? No.
Uh,
So
no.
I just want to see this mess cleaned up.
listen, he was banned from baseball and
Right.
football, and football was in lockstep with him. And as much cheating as and steroid use that was going on in football, I'm not saying that it still is or that, but we know that there are football players who uh, have taken a little something to get that extra edge. Um,
Yeah.
and you know, when the NFL said no, hey,
They didn't want it in their sport. They didn't want it. They didn't want him representing their shield. You know what I'm saying? Boxing don't
hey,
have a shield. We in the wild wild west.
yeah, everything's about the shield. Everything's about the brand.
Right.
And MLB said, hey, wait a minute, this is about the brand.
Yeah.
We're not gonna have this associated with the brand.
And
You know,
man,
um,
Facts.
whereas boxers all have their own brand. You know, um, and you got people like DHP and GTD and um, KB3. You know, these are all brands. Um,
yeah,
DB3. These are all brands that are a part of boxing, but they aren't the sport of boxing. So you know, people want to make and everybody people look out for their brands, their logos, and they want to make sure that if when you see this, it's associated with me, and I got to make sure that I'm represented 100%.
yeah, I
You
agree.
know,
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. Everybody's trying to protect their brand. You got DHP, like you said, everybody's their own independent contractor. So it's going to be hard to, like I said, boxing is going to forever be the wild wild west. Turkey can try to take it and to another country and say, hey, this is what we doing over here. But bro, at the end of the day, boxing is forever going to be the wild wild west. That's just what it is.
well,
And the
I got
business of
I got no
boxing is going to
problem.
stay in the business of boxing forever.
Right. I got no problem with Turkey, starting a league and taking it to Saudi,
Yeah,
um,
Yeah,
and doing what he's doing over there, um, because he is overpaying fighters.
yeah, he is.
yes,
He,
indeed.
Um,
I agree.
and you know, I think and hey, if you got a chance to get overpaid, hey, go for it. I mean, because um, CTE is real.
Yeah,
You know, um, look at fighters like James Toney, or not shouldn't say look at him. Listen to fighters like James Toney.
What a shame.
You know, listen to fighters like um oh
There's a
damn,
couple of
I'm
them.
losing.
Where's
It's a
that guy
bunch of
that
them.
BVO that clip that BVO got? That guy's real bad. I mean, he went from like there to like all the way down. I don't know this guy's name, but he can't say anything.
Hell, listen to Bernard Hopkins. Listen to Bernard Hopkins.
He's not as bad as
Yeah, but every once in a
Tony
while,
and them.
Bernard Hopkins will start talking and his speech goes left.
Yeah,
Well, what the hell did he just say? Um, you know,
yeah.
Oscar De La Hoya. Oscar De La Hoya puts on a brave face every time he gets up there, but then all of a sudden his thought pattern just takes a turn and wait a minute, what did Oscar just say?
Oscar
You
got
know,
other issues. Oscar like sugar and all that good stuff. You know what I mean? Tony and Bernard just got hit.
yeah,
I
they,
don't
they
think
took
they
they,
was
they took a lot of punishment.
partaking in the dragon and booger sugar. I don't think they, you know. But hey, what do I know?
You know, um, there's a lot of fighters out there. Um, hell, listen to Evander Holyfield when he's
What a
talking.
shame. What a
You
shame.
know, Evander. Now, I granted that Georgia accent is something to get through all of itself, but um,
Yeah, but
uh,
that's different though, cause Dub Right Side's from Middle Georgia and he don't sound like that. You know what I mean? That's a product of getting too many headshots, bro.
yeah, yeah, he stood in there and took severe head trauma from Mike Tyson, from George Foreman, um, from Lennox Lewis. He took it from uh, what's my man from Oxon Hill. Um, yeah, I mean, it's just he took a lot of pounding to the head.
Hmm.
Um, and to hear his speech pattern just devolve to where it is now, um, all because of it. So if you got a chance to get those dollars, get those dollars. You
Hmm.
know, um, and because it's definitely a rough way to feed your family. You know. So who coming up next week? Somebody's coming up next weekend, and I don't remember who's
I
fighting
talked to
next
Hank
week.
Lundy last weekend, and he sounded pretty good. I could he held a whole conversation with me and my son, and we chopped it up about a good 15 minutes. You know what I mean? And he was he he
Oh,
he
that's
was
cool.
fine. So I was, he been in some fights, but some of these guys, man, they can't talk at all, bro. It's sad, especially like Holyfield and Tony, especially Tony. I think it disturbs me more because Tony is my guy, man. You know what I'm saying? But he fought way beyond than he needed to, But sometimes you gotta. That's how these guys get money. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is.
Yeah, to, that's punishment that that you can't take away.
Yo, shout out to my man, Optimum LD, man. Peace in the chat. And yeah, the Knicks is going to the championship, man. Just so y'all know. Y'all
Oh
hear
yeah,
me?
we started this thing with the Knicks, and then BVO come in there and start capping about boxing first thing. Um,
The cap, he said that 'cause of
Yo, BVO, why don't you get your real phone? Get off that Mint Mobile.
oh,
Thank you,
boy,
baby.
y'all get my
I said
haircut, man.
that $15 a
Here,
month just
take it
ain't
back.
cutting it, baby.
Take it back here. Hmm, Thank you. That was funny. That was pure comedy right there. I don't know. BBL he been he live in the suburb. When you live in the suburbs, you just don't have any reception. I know, like when I go back down North Carolina, man, my reception is horrible out there. So
I live
everybody
in the
excuse BBL.
suburbs.
Yeah, but Cleveland suburbs is different. I think he didn't went to Akron now. I don't know if he at home no more because this is starting to become an everyday thing with him. But
He
he be
outside
trying
of
to
Akron, huh?
he in Akron, right? You know what I'm saying? He might be. Shout out to my boy BBO already.
Yeah, we only messing with him because we love him.
Yeah, he probably around. He got that probably doing yard work. It's Saturday, so he probably shaking and moving, trying to do two things at once. So he'll get it. He'll get it together.
Yeah, he talking about he
Probably
listened
in
to the
that yard.
old.
When he goes in that yard, that's when it does that. But everybody can't be rich like BVL and have them big yards where you get lost and stuff.
Oh, he talking about he listening to the interview in Spanish, man. I thought he was, the local gardener because the other day he was talking about he was cutting somebody's grass. I guess when you're the neighborhood gardener, it's all right.
BVL, get it together, man.
EVO, you ain't said nothing, man. You ain't got to come back for that.
I told you what he was doing. BVO start going out there doing yard work, man, it's over.
Yeah, that's what happens when you got a big yard and you cutting the neighbor's grass as well.
I told BBO to go on hire a landscaper. He make enough money. I don't know why. I ain't cut my grass in years. My backyard, I'm not doing that backyard. It be bleeding outside, blazing hip hop and R&B. I am not going out there. I'll pay my Antonio landscaping and he'll come in here and do the front, back, everything. $50. Easy peasy.
All right.
But who else? CDK, you still there? What we doing? We keep going or what we doing, BVO?
I don't know. It sounds like everybody done dropped off.
Everybody dropped off, but me and Big Dre, we in here holding it down. I give the guys a couple more minutes. I don't know what they want to do. You want to keep this live going or
Shit, I didn't even know I was added to the panel. Salute, fella.
who that? Puro? Salute, brother.
What's going
Hey,
on?
salute, Pio.
Salute.
You been up
Going
How
on?
you
here?
feel about these?
Morning.
Didn't realize you was in the part, in the mix.
Yeah, I
How
didn't
you
know
feel
either.
about the
I was
PEDs and stuff in boxing? What was we talking about, Drizzy? What was
Well,
the
we were
last thing?
talking. When we started off, we were supposed to have been talking about the Knicks, but
Oh
BBO
yeah.
started capping about boxing and turkey and fixing cards, and we went into cheating and steroids, and you know, and then
again.
BBO came back with his Mint Mobile phone out there in the suburbs. He had a $15 plan, man.
That's crazy.
Yeah, time to get an upgrade, BBO.
Yeah, Puro, what you got? There's some fights come on tonight.
Yeah.
We got
I,
tonight.
I think the most notable fight is what's his name? Ukrainian fighter versus Michael Fox.
Okay.
Oh,
Uh,
Boachuk.
Boachuk. Thank you.
Boachuk fighting Michael. That's tonight.
That is tonight.
On what? What we on the zone with it?
It is on. I was just looking at it. Let me see. It is on. Nah, it's on UFC Fight Pass.
It's on UFC Fight Pack.
Correct.
Fighting that.
So he's fighting under what's that guy's name? Triple G's fucking old promoter.
G promotional company.
No, not Triple G's promotional company, but his old promoter. What's his name? I forget, but yeah, that's where he has his fighters out of the UFC Fight Pass.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
Actually, I'm
Now,
thinking of going to this fight.
and now,
'cause
Puro,
it's
let
over
me
here
ask you a
up the street.
question.
Up
Let
the
me ask
street.
you a question.
So,
I feel like Shiraz. How you say it, Shiraz? I think he gonna beat.
Shiraz.
I think he gonna beat Belunga. I feel like he gonna win that. I don't know why I got this feeling, bro.
I
I
think
feel
he's
like
gonna win as well. To be
I think
honest,
he gonna win.
yeah, but I think people are counting out Berlanga though.
ain't nobody counting out Berlanga.
I mean, I like his
He's the feeling
personality. I
I'm
think he's
getting.
skilled for boxing, but I mean, I don't think he's very highly skilled though. I'm gonna keep it a beam.
Who?
Berlanga. I don't think he's that skilled of a fighter. That's just my opinion though.
Skilled, bro. It's just like he hasn't shown it at all at the professional level.
All I seen was power, Puro. That's all I seen from him. Anything else?
Yeah, I mean that's
Now he
how they
got some heart
marketed
too,
him.
though. He got some heart though.
That's how they market him. But he can box. You know, his
Yeah,
extensive amateur career and shit. You know,
yeah,
I haven't
yeah. I
seen it
mean,
though. I haven't seen it over here in the pros though. I ain't gonna lie.
that's what I'm saying. I like Berlanga. I like him. I think he's entertaining. I thought he was a little immature at the press conference, shooting his Shiraz like with a machine gun. I thought that was kind of corny, but
Yeah, I thought he was
uh,
shooting it himself.
yeah, I thought that was corny, but it's
Yeah,
still highly entertaining. You know.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'm gonna have to find
but
that fight because I got to see my man Michael Fox.
Yeah, I like
To
shout out
Michael
Michael
Fox.
Fox, indeed.
yeah, I'm thinking of going to that fight. It's up the street from me.
Word.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah,
used to
in
pull up.
commerce, in commerce.
I was at the fights last weekend. I got a chance to
Yeah,
see.
you were telling me. You were telling me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Greg Hackett. BVO posted some clips up on the channel, but my phone had died, and I wanted to get some. I could have did a 1-on-1 with Hammer and Hank Lundy, but my phone ended up dying, man. It just and
He's
I was
funny.
just about to,
He's real funny.
yeah, he's super hilarious. And I said, Hank, you gonna fight again? He said, yeah, I'll fight. I said, why don't you fight Tev? He's like, yeah, I love to do that. He's like, and I can make 140. That's what he said out his mouth.
Hmm.
These are facts. He said he would love to fight. He said he still can make 40. So I said jump in there. I said that'd be actually a pretty decent fight. I wouldn't be mad at that. Have it in Philly. Have it right there at the 2300.
With Tevin Farmer and Hank.
Why not?
Yeah, I guess.
They could do something. But going back to the when is the Shakur and when is that fight? Is that next week? What is that?
No, that's a couple weeks. Like it's like a month from now.
That's a month now. Okay.
I
But
think so.
I want to make sure I catch that Berlanga fight, man. I might even throw some money to it. I got a real good feeling that Shiraz is gonna upset Berlanga.
Yeah.
Shiraz ain't no bum, bro. He not
No,
trash.
Shiraz not a bum at all.
He alright to me, but I mean, I
Yeah,
want
Shiraz is
Berlanga to
cool. I
win.
mean, he's got some
Yeah, yeah, he cool.
defensive deficiencies that Ammo should have fucked. Well, Ammo almost capitalized on, and Bronco was just teeing off on.
Yeah, Ammo. I don't know what he. I don't know about his game plan and whatnot, but I mean, I like to see that. I wouldn't even be mad at that rematch. Salute my man T.
Facts.
Hill.
Facts. I'm an Ammo fan.
Salute the
All
whole
the way.
damn panel, man. Shout out my
What
man
up,
Big Ray.
T?
Shout out my man
Thomas Hill.
BBO. Shout out my man Pride. Shout out my man Puddle Sort
What's up,
from that
bruh?
good south. From that good south. Shout out my guy Am McQueen. Hey, let me shout out the chat real quick, man.
Yeah.
Shout out my main man Am McQueen, the ubiquitous and loquacious one, I should say. Shout out to lovely Angie Wise.
Yeah.
Wise Sports Betting. You know what I'm saying? She's always on top of stuff. JG. Dub Rice, aka Mr. Respectfully Opulent LDTVDS3, my guy Josh Sanders,
Yeah.
Big Louisville Slugger up in the mother, and shout out my guy kind of loco.
Of course. Shout out. Y'all go follow, subscribe up to kind of local.
Like, comment, and subscribe. Shout out
Like
Andrew
right now.
Bolton. Shout out. Who else we had up there? Marky Dan, the historian. Especially when he's in his native tongue. Shout out my man, Yo Daddy.
Yeah.
Shout out. See, I saw one more person. Let's see, go all the way. TD, there you go. TD, my main man, Tommy from the Bronx. Don't be fooled by the rocks that he got. He's still Tommy from the Bronx. Shout out Bruce Gas, Boxing Jazz, and so much more. And I think there was one more person, if I'm not mistaken. CDK, man. Oh, shout out CDK Sports Talk Network. Sub to the good brother CDK Sports Talk. Teach, the good brother Teach. Call that Rolly fight. And shout out to anybody else who's listening in the chat. Have not yet responded and gave their opinions, their thoughts, the they call that the intelligent, the what they call it, intellectual properties to the
Intellectual
chat.
property.
Yeah, to the chat, man. Shout out to all my good people. Shout out Big Drop Dre, the voiceover, man. I didn't even hit him the correct way, dog. So shout out my man, Big Dre.
Already.
Good.
It's good
We
to
got
hear Big
Thomas
Dre
Hill,
too.
man.
Good to
And
hear Big Dre live.
I had my man Big Capping up in the video. I mean, in the building, but he left. Dog. Shout out to the notorious one, BVO, dog.
Yeah, see, we got the mayor of YouTube boxing, Mr. Thomas Hill.
I'm
He's the
just
co-host of everybody's show.
if
Yes, indeed.
see the only player that I knew that was like me, man, was that man Royce Clayton, dog. I don't want to be that guy. So you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna try to be a better
Listen,
guy.
it seems like every time I jump in on somebody's show, we got Thomas Hill up on the panel, boy. It's like, damn, he's
That's
co-hosted
crazy.
everywhere.
That's
Only
crazy.
right.
That's crazy.
Only right.
But yeah,
He's
man,
all up in the Kool-Aid, don't even know the flavor.
hey man, it's always red or grape, dog. It's always red or grape, dog.
Mr. Chairman, what's going on, man?
Hey, there you go, right there, my main man, right there, BBO. I don't know who that is right there in that little blazer, that little leather.
That's Tommy from.
That's Tommy.
Yep, that's Tommy from the Bronx.
Nah,
For
that's
real.
crazy.
Oh yeah, I forgot. I forgot he was the notorious one, dog. Shout out to my good guy CBO, dog, over here making fun of my man Tommy from the Bronx. Shout out Tommy from the Bronx. Hey, I'm gonna say this about Berlanga.
Yeah.
I agree with Pearl said. He does have skill. We know he has power. He just don't have the intuitiveness to put that shit together the way that he needs to
Mm.
take advantage of the tools that he does got. And then unfortunately, on defense, he isn't where he needs to be. He's getting better in those regards. The problem with me with that fight is, dog, it's one of Turkey's guys. And I seen Shiraz be down to and lose the next 3 rounds and somehow get a draw
Mm-hmm.
to get this spot. Now, this dude is the main event when he was the second fight in on his last card that he didn't look good in, that it looked like he got dominated at least 9 rounds. And now he's headlining. My man came back from a 2-round deficit, not winning a round, to get a draw. And he's fighting somebody who believes he's the greatest thing since sliced bread because he had a soiree with Canelo, who took it easy on him.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
His skills are limited to me though. Like I when I say skills, like what you just said, T Dot, like his defense, he's not where he needs to be. That's part of your skill, you know. So that's why I said all I see is power from him. Now, yeah, he was pretty declarated amateur, but I'm talking about right now. Like I feel like he needs some more work, but I mean he's entertaining. He talk his ish. He gonna the press conference is gonna be crazy. He gonna say crazy, he gonna cuss, he gonna say stuff, and he gonna have you cringing. But I think boxing needs characters like that though. So that's what makes me, root for him. And I will be rooting for him in that fight.
Hey, shout out to the good sister, Jab Queen Boxing, aka Ty Drake.
Shout out Jab Queen. Y'all go follow Jab Queen.
If you ever see her on panel, she just throw more than jab, dog. But she throw that stab jab, that
Hooks,
step
uppercuts,
jab.
low blows, rabbit punches, kidney shots.
Yeah,
Oh, Ty be getting it in.
Yeah.
yeah, she do.
And sounds so smooth. Oh man.
Yeah. And sounds
Sexual
smooth while doing it. Yep.
It sounds smooth while doing it.
Sexual
While
man,
taking
what the
part,
fuck going on?
these so-called boxing fans taking them apart, picking them apart.
Oh, she be she be going in on some of the so-called experts out there,
That's what I'm saying.
because when you talk about a woman that knows her stuff in the sport of boxing, Ty, I love you, baby.
Yo, we got
Yeah,
a lot
indeed.
of them that's frequent in these spaces too, man. Unfortunately, you can be a friendly and catch fire with Ty, dog. She don't play around. I'm gonna be real with you, dog. She is on my helmet a couple of times, dog. So I can recognize when you catch the wrath, and they say that there is no fury like a woman that's been scorned. Man, don't get her on her bad side. That's all I gotta
No,
tell you.
no.
Yeah,
So shout out to lovely lady, Jag
already.
Queen boxing, and don't slander her neither. You know what I mean? Cause she got that right, that left.
She gonna check you with that left hook, and you're gonna be asleep. You know what I'm
She always
saying?
popping you with that jab, keeping you honest. We talking about 36 minutes of hell. Shout out to Guy Devin, the
Yeah.
drink, Haney. So what's
Yeah.
good, man? What you guys talking about, man?
We
Shout
were
out my
just
guy.
pretty much we supposed to be talking about the Knicks, but
Oh,
when you come up here,
congratulations.
we got
Congratulations.
ADHD over.
ADHD. Who is that? Did I go away?
No, you still
I can
here,
hear you.
man.
Oh, yo.
I said we like ADD over here because we supposed to talk about the Knicks, but then we all talking about Osterine and all kind of stuff. So
Hey, look,
what
man,
you
I'm gonna
got?
be honest. I'm gonna be honest with the Osterine thing, man. If it was in a system and it wasn't reported, therefore there was a transgression of the rule, then he got to wear that jacket like my man in the profile pic for BBO. But that being the case, bro, like if Devin really fully believes that the reason why that fight went that way was the fact that there was Nandrolone and there was Osterine or there was something else in there, then he's ignoring the bigger problem that's always been there that allowed little ass JoJo Diaz to have some success about him, that allowed Loma to apparently win the fight. That allowed who was that? I forgot somebody else that had success with him. It's things that he has tendencies that he does that can be capitalized on if you're astute and if you're skilled enough to do it. So I'm like, Ryan gotta help. He gotta hold that, but the way you get rid of that for Ryan is if you rematch him and you do it the right way. Same thing for Devin. Devin get it back, and puts the boots on him, put the boot to the tail. Then he gets it back, man. That no longer is a thing of the past. That's a thing of the past, man. You move on because now you can see you acquit yourself. So for me, man, I just don't like this. I don't like the hate that all of these, especially our fighters, get. Man, I can't stand that we do this too. If, for instance, Devin would have done what Loma did, he would be slandered all day long. Same thing for Shakur. Same thing for Tank. You know what I'm saying? Case in point, man. I was just talking to my good brother Ant McQueen, and he was
Shout
talking
out to Ant
about.
McQueen in the
And there
chat.
go Ant right there. He was talking about the fact that there might be a Jake Paul fight down in Germany. He ain't mad at it. It's pure entertainment, and he about to get a break. He about to get broke off for it. He's like, yo, they fighting. It's called prize fighter. Like your name. So what comes first, the prize or the fighter? Yeah,
Sure.
fighting for the prize. So I guess with that, I'd be pissed. I ain't gonna lie. I still be pissed because I want him so very bad. Because we got people like the Notorious One right here on screen, man. Shout out to the Notorious One who love to take a pitchfork and put it in the back of Tank every time he get a
Ooh,
chance.
hold on. We don't bring up Abdul Wahid on this
You
podcast,
see
man.
what I'm saying? So he got a lot of people that do that to him, as does Shakur got people to do it to him, and as does Devin got people do it to him.
Hold
You
on,
know,
hold on,
just
hold on. You talking about when you say Devin, you mean Black
said Black who?
Jesus?
Tony
That's what you talking about when you say
Montana.
Devin
Tony
Haney?
Montana. Tony Montana. What you talking about, dog? Yeah, see, you over there tweaking, man. Your camera
Pernell Whitaker.
glitching. Who's
Hey,
Whitaker? You saying Devin is the new Pernell Whitaker?
Oh,
I would
Did
say
you
he up
just say
there with
that?
Pernell.
nah.
Cap.
He undisputed.
I ain't gonna say it's cap. He
Guess
can
what?
have his own opinion. He can have his opinion.
But
I just
guess
think
what?
Premel's a little bit more
Guess
polished
what?
defensively.
But guess what? Devin is more accomplished than a lot of your favorite fighters are. I want y'all to
Facts.
And
remember that.
then,
That's a
Undisputed.
and
fact.
then I'm glad he just said that too, because favorite fighter syndrome, because they like to apply to only one fighter is who they're against, but it applies to 6 different fan bases. The Canelo fan base, the Errol Spence fan base, the Bud Crawford fan base, the Tank Davis fan base, the Devin Haney fan base, and the Shakur Stevenson fan base. And it's real. And it will have you hating on one person because of that Mickey Fricky